Hello, YouTube, and welcome into part one, actually, of Final Fantasy XIV Dragonsong War. Morrighan and... You know what? Hold on. We're not starting over, but... Welcome in to the Adventures of Morrighan and Initari, the Dragonsong War, part one. Because we just finished on stream yesterday, which would have been Monday, May 1st, we finished the main expansion for Heavensward. Heavensward. I still can't say it right. It's Heavensward, like you're heading towards the heavens, but I have always thought of it as Heaven Sword. Even though it's S-W-A-R-D. Yeah, you know, it's a thing. Anyway, we're going to start today with continuing. We're going to finish the quest to get the gunbreaker, because we started that on stream and then didn't finish it. But then we will get into post-game, and we'll do the first patch of post-game. So, who knows? It's only 8 quests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's only 8 quests. It might be quick. This could be a short video. We'll see. But first things first, we're going to go to East Shroud, and while that's teleporting us there, let's hop on over to the capture. We don't need that up for this in particular. But yeah, let's go. Hope you're all having a good day so far, and thank you for watching the video. Don't forget that if you are enjoying it, to like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. It really helps me out with visibility and all of that, and, you know, feel free to also go over and follow my Twitch. Same handle, @CalebGames here. You can find me on all socials, Twitter, Instagram. I say all socials, but really I'm only active on Twitter and Instagram. Even Instagram's a little iffy, but here we go! We started to see this cutscene in the stream yesterday, but I'm excited. This will give me the last tank for the current tank. Who knows? Maybe in 7.0 they'll release a new one, but our queue popped right about here. There's their 1, 2, 3 combo. Oh, but the poor man's tired. It's fine. I'll protect the other Vieira. It's so hard to take things seriously when every time I pull out the axe, it's got the frickin' Kupo sound. The Moogle sound. Out of my way, girl, or I'll gut ya! No, you won't. You will do no such thing. It's a peculiar conjurer. So, Gunbreaker, for those of you who haven't been around for previous stories, I don't even know if I've ever told these stories, actually. Oh. It's the B rank right over there. No, that's an A rank for this area, not B rank. I'll finish the Gunbreaker story in a second. I got distracted, and we're going into a cutscene. You have my thanks, stranger. And mine. If you hadn't shown up, things could have gone very badly for us. It's my fault. I'll be more careful next time. Truth be told, I thought we'd have a quieter journey after sneaking past all those Imperial patrols and leaving Girabanya behind us. How wrong was I? To think we could be caught unawares by a gang of common thieves. I know. It got... I should stop trying to adjust my... There we go. What's going on? We heard a commotion and... That's one of them! Just like the witnesses described! on, camera focus. There we go. It's strange they'd go after a pair like you. All their marks so far have been merchants and whatnot, you know. Folk carrying coins and valuables who won't put up much of a fight. I reckon that if any of the cronies are out there watching, they'll think twice before crossing you lot again. Still, might be a good idea for you to see these travelers to Gridania. Me and the others will keep looking for the rest of the highwaymen. Those bandits. Something about this doesn't sit right with me. We barely have a fistful of gil between us. And I have a couple of fulms of edged steel strapped to my back. Not the most likely of targets. Perhaps that's why they went straight for the kill. And they might have succeeded if you hadn't stepped in. We are in your debt, stranger. I am Radovan, and this is Sophie. We traveled here from Ilsabard, far to the north, where once I served as a soldier of Garlemald. I had no choice. My family was taken hostage. While it is true that I have fought and killed for the Empire, I would never have done so willingly. Although I freed myself of their shackles, the life I had known is no more. But that was another life, one I would sooner put behind me. I came to Eorzea in the hope that I might start anew here. As for me, I also escaped from the Garleans. I was part of a resistance movement, until we were all rounded up or killed, that is. The Empire took everything from me, my family, my homeland. With nowhere else to go, the two of us decided we'd stand a better chance of surviving if we stuck together. And here we are. To see me now, you'd scarce believe I once served as personal guard to my queen. But in the end, I couldn't protect her. I couldn't protect anyone, not even my wife and son. While I would have gladly given my life for theirs, it was not to be. Even so, there may still be a use for the skills I spent years honing, those whom I may yet deliver from harm. That's why I suggested looking for employment as bodyguard in Eorzea, and Gridania seems a good place to start. I know you've helped us enough already, but I have a proposal. Would you consider working with us? Now hold on, Radovan. That's rather a lot to ask, don't you think? But Morrighan has what it takes to become a gunbreaker. It seems my gunblade has caught your eye. You may have seen Garleans wielding something similar, but this is the genuine article. The ones used by the Empire are simply edged weapons with a firearm bolted on, or vice versa. While they have their uses, they pale in comparison to those my clan forged for generations. Our gunblades use ethereal-imbued cartridges. When you pull the trigger, the powdered crystal within ignites, releasing the ether. This sends a powerful shockwave through the blade, increasing its destructive capabilities. The cartridges can even be fired into the air to create defensive barriers. Perhaps you should save the lectures until you've heard Morrigan's answer? Ah, yes! First things first. So are you interested? In exchange for assisting us, I will teach you the art of the gunbreaker. And I was wondering if you might be able to act as a guide. If you'd accept gunblade training as a form of payment, we'd be most grateful. Once the coin starts rolling in, you'll receive a fair share. You need not answer right away, but please, give it some thought. Hell yeah, I'm gonna become a gunbreaker. Have you reached a decision? From this day forth, our fates are entwined. While the path that lies ahead is not an easy one, the spirits of my predecessors will watch over you. Gunbreaker unlocked. Now that the Gunbreakers of Eld have yielded a portion of their wisdom, you're ready to take blade in hand. Rather than spend moons and moons training you, perhaps we had best find employment first. We can use the time between assignments to refine your abilities, but where should we start? The Adventurers Guild. Yes, that sounds quite promising. I suppose we are adventurers after all. Tell me, Morrighan, are you familiar with this sort of thing? Yeah, I like to think I am. Oh my, in that case we couldn't have found a better guide. Well, there's no time like the present, shall we? Alright. Back to the Gridania! The Gridania, not Gridania. The Gridania. Okay. Okay. Now that Mother Mayun has made us formal members of the Adventurers Guild, we can start accepting assignments. In fact, we've already been given the details of a potential client in need of a bodyguard or two. A man named Lassenshaw was waiting by the Wailing Barracks. Sophie and I will try making our way there to get our bearings. That's the, whatchamacallit. Oh! General... Limit break. Lancer's Guild is the Wailing Barracks. That's what I was trying to say. Oh, and so Gunbreaker was the first tank I picked up before I even knew how to tank. Big mistake. I tried to play Gunbreaker like you played DPS, and that's not how it works. So I was turned off to tanking for quite a while. That's basically all that story was. You must be the one sent by the Adventurers Guild, yes? Oh, thank goodness. Something dreadful has befallen. Well, threats to befall. Ah, the one and only Editha. You mean to say you are unfamiliar with the most gifted harpsichordist who ever lived? Whatever possessed me to hire such uncultured... It appears my breath will be better spent briefing you on the nature of my request. A few days ago, Editha received a most unwelcome missive, a death threat, to be precise. At first, I deemed it nothing more than the crazed scrawlings of some harmless churl. That was until during a recital, a stone was thrown at her, missing her by a hair's breadth. I have, in my capacity as her manager, cancelled all public appearances until the perpetrator can be brought to justice. I fear, though, that my, delicate tulip would wither and fail if confined to her dressing room, and she has herself expressed a desire to stroll freely beneath the canopies of Miketo's amphitheater. I see where this is going. You want us to take her for a walk, is that it? If that's all we have to do, we should count ourselves lucky. A threatening letter, a brazen attack in a public place. Who knows what will happen next? But she can't stay indoors forever. I say we accept. Splendid. Without any further ado, I shall have Editha prepare for her promenade. We'd best proceed carefully. If the culprit knows that Lassenshaw asked the Adventurers Guild for help, they could probably deduce that Editha will be coming out of hiding. We should see if anyone bears a grudge against her so we know what to expect, and we better look around the amphitheater for places where an ambusher might hide. Alright, you guys take the long way. I'm gonna teleport over there. Know of her? I certainly do! I would consider myself to be one of her many admirers. In all honesty, I do not care for the way some of the others ogle her. If the rumors about Editha receiving death threats are true, one of those lecherous scoundrels must be behind it. Why yes, Editha has been the talk of Gridania since her debut. Her skills as a musician is without question, although I sense that many of her admirers are more interested in her bizarre stage garb. Simpkin! Oh, Editha. Even a moment deprived of her sumptuous harmonies is akin to an eternity of unimaginable torment. When, oh when, will she grace me with her splendor once more? Well, Radovan, I think we found her simp. It's in his name. Morrighan, have you met Miss Orndine? She's a harpsichordist like Editha. That poor girl! What is this world coming to? That a gifted and beautiful young performer such as her must hide away for her fear of her life. It beggars belief. It must be one of her followers. I've seen the way some of them look at her, and it makes my skin crawl. With fans like that, who needs enemies? So what did the other locals have to say? Yes, most of them think that one of Editha's admirers is to blame, but I sense there's more to it. I think that until we have more information, we should treat everyone with equal suspicion, to be on the safe side. Personally, I prefer to carry out a more thorough investigation, but we'd best not keep our clients waiting. Once you are ready, let us return to Lassenchow. You have learned all the gunbreakers, blah blah blah. We already took care of that. Editha assures me that she will be ready in 2 shakes of a Ziz's tail, whatever that means. Oh, my chaperones have arrived! How wonderful! Oh, to finally feel the sun's warming rays, I am reborn! They weren't joking when they called her eccentric. No, all this prancing about is going to draw unwanted attention. We'd better get this over with as quickly as possible. Sophie, Morrighan and I will escort her to the amphitheater. Why don't you stay behind with Lassenchow in case we need to hurry back? Fine by me. I'll keep an ear out for any signs of danger and come running if you call. Although I was fully prepared to join you in guarding Editha, and even dressed for the occasion, I will defer to your professional opinion and remain here. But promise me that you will keep my sweet Petunia safe. Leave it to us. Are you ready, Morrighan? Absolute. Let's fucking go. La la la. What a beautiful day for a stroll. Do 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 do. I have left the sanctuary. We need only escort her to the amphitheater and back, but keep your eyes peeled. Oh, my finger needed to pop. We'll turn on our royal guard. Come at me, bitches. I must ask that you refrain from wandering. I wouldn't dream of it. La la la. And avoid any needless frolicking. I don't think I've ever seen anywhere so peaceful and serene. Oh, Gridania is a wonderful place indeed. You should stay a while. Ha ha! I will give it some thought. Is that... It is! It's Editha! Hey, there's Y'shtola's sister. An unwanted distraction. But perhaps they can tell us why those bandits are after Editha. I hear that Editha has become something of a recluse of late. I do hope she returns to grace the stage once more. Is it true her music is inspired by all the wondrous places she's seen on her travels? Editha has only recently begun performing in Gridania, and she has already amassed a considerable following. I have heard, however, that some of the other harpsichordists are envious of her success. The whole of Gridania delights in Editha's magnificent melodies. Every other musician pales in comparison to her. You are escorting the lovely Editha. Please allow me to make a record of this day's events. So you get the impression that a jealous rival is the instigator. There she is, with the rabbit ears! Who goes there? Never you mind. Step away from the girl, nice and slow. I think not. Morrighan, don't let them near her. Oh, and Ymitra helps us. I hadn't noticed that. There could be more of them, so be on your guard. We must be ready to strike at a moment's notice. I'm gonna miss out on a S rank. take the left again. Come on. Oh shit. Whoops. Come on. Oh, it's the headband at this time, huh? Die faster! What was that? So, what was that? Leave these ruffians to me. I and the other wood whalers will get to the bottom of this. Not much farther now. It's too quiet. They must be expecting us. Ah. My, what a naughty little rabbit. It seems you've wandered too far from your warren. The stage is set for your curtain call, though. It cost me a pretty penny to rent this place. This will be your last time you walk all over my stage with those grubby little paws of yours. Alright. Protect Editha and defeat the assailants. Come on. Yeah, I remember the last time I did this, it was not great. It went there very... I beat it first try, but it was rough. Because again, I did not know how to take. How long until she releases the cat? That is what I'm curious about. And kind of what I'm holding like my burst for. Useless, and you call yourselves professionals. Looks like it's time to introduce the rabbit to my kitty. And now she sends the beasts after us. We must protect Editha at all costs. Try running into them. You'll get a nasty shock, boob. We can worry about the nasty shock later, apparently. Okay. More of them! Stop them before they reach Editha! You can't hurt me, bitch. Although this cat is a grind a little bit. That is one thing that, like, Square has some issues with, is they make some of their fights a little too grindy. Come on. There we go. What's wrong? No more surprises? Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm afraid not. The show's over. Now take off that mask before I cut it off in your face with it. It's the lady that... It's like Mrs. O'Dine or Madame O'Dine. Miss O'Dine! Ondine! I might have guessed, but what's Editha ever done to deserve this? That harlot doesn't know the first thing about real music, and she thinks she can steal my fans, my stage, with those appalling outfits of hers? I won't stand for it. I won't! What happened here? Well, you see. Miss Ondine, was jealous. I'd heard that Ondine wasn't exactly a fan of Editha's, but I never thought she'd pay to have her killed. And now we know that the highwaymen in the woods were in on her schemes too. A few days back they held up Ondine's carriage in the shroud, but she made them an offer worth more than the valuables she was carrying. Mind you, I don't suppose there's many of the bastards left after today. You've done us all a good turn, so if you ever need anything from the God's Quiver, don't hesitate to ask. Now that the danger has passed, Editha will at long last be able to make her triumphant return to me, Keto's amphitheater. There's still one thing I don't understand. Why do those highwaymen attack me and Radovon in the woods? Maybe it was because of your ears. I imagine Ondine told them how much I love wearing my favorite bunny crown. They probably thought you were me. Oh, those ones aren't real Vieira ears. Or these ones aren't real Vieira ears. At least I don't think so. Actually, I was wondering if I might have a word in private with the three of you. But there are 4 of us. Yes, but only if I include you, which I'm not. What have I done to deserve such treatment? Well, I suppose a lady is entitled to her secrets, but before I return to my duties, I wish to express my gratitude for your part in today's events. You have both performed admirably. Now that pesky manager of mine is out of the way, let's go to the Great Loam Growery. This is when you find out something very special about Editha. She's not human. She's not. But what is she? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. You risked life and limb to protect me, so I feel it's only fair that I explain myself. One moment, please. What? Well, you see, she's a sylph. You mean to say she was a sylph from the very beginning? Oh yes, this one feels much more comfortable now. It is fun to use glamours and play the harpsichord, but a little bit. And this one spent so long in walking one's house, this one nearly died. These ones need the sun's rays to flourish, to live. That is why this one had to go outside, even though dangerous ones were all around. This one hopes helpful one will understand and not tell simpering one. Listening ones will be sad if this one can no longer play sweet, sweet music. Your secret is safe with us. I'm ever so grateful. Promise you'll come to listen to my harpsichord soon. Yes? Teehee. Not quite the conclusion I was expecting, but a satisfactory one nonetheless. I must say, you've acquitted yourself rather well, Morrighan. It normally takes a lot longer for novices to grasp the fundamental differences between a gunblade and a regular sword. It was originally developed by my people in the Third Astral Era. The march of the Allegan Empire had driven us to the barren wastelands, where even survival was a constant struggle. Our queen, Gunhilda, was closely guarded by loyal soldiers known for the unique swords they wielded. These royal vassals were known as Gunhilda's Blades, a name that was abbreviated and applied to the most distinctive of their weapons, the gunblade. Meanwhile, the Allegans were developing firearms capable of launching projectiles over great distances. As they were similar in appearances to our own gunblades, we referred to these weapons as guns, a term which is now commonplace. So effective were these new weapons on the battlefield, the Queen's Guard decided to specialize in smashing through the enemy's lines and destroying them as swiftly as possible. Thus did they come to be known as gunbreakers. Even after the fall of the Allegan Empire, these techniques were passed down to each of the new generations. My clan are the descendants of Gunhilda's royal guard, although I am all that remains. That was funny. Did you see how Sophie dozed off? It is my duty to see that the art of the gunbreaker lives on, even if that means entrusting it to an outsider such as yourself. If you like history lessons, you two will get along like a house on fire. I'd best leave it there for the time being. I don't want to overwhelm the lass. The best learning is done in the field, however. As pleasant as Gridania is, I am eager to see what the other city-states have to offer. Then may I suggest Ul'dah? Their markets have goods from all over the world, and I'm dying to take a look. Ul'dah it is, then. Sophie and I will go on ahead. When you arrive, seek us out. We shouldn't be hard to find. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Speak with Editha. Nope, we don't have to speak with her anymore. To the quicksand. And then, after recording time of 43 minutes, we will finally get started on the actual thing. Actual 3.1, I should say. I don't know how much of it that'll be in the video. The video might be cut down to like 20 by this point. It's good to finally get away from all that noisy marketplace. Not that this watering hole is much quieter. Still, it's a paradise compared to anything you'll find in Garlean territory. I think he's just sour in mood because he can't find any work. You're not wrong there, Sophie. I'll keep looking, though. Morrighan, you'd better train by yourself until we find our next client, which, with a little luck, will be soon. Okay. Alright, but here we go. Officially starting. For Fortuitous timing as always, Morrighan. Tataru was about to brief me on this search for our missing comrades. If you would be so kind, then... Absolutely! You'll be pleased to hear that Riol and his men have been making excellent progress. You remember how Flamen helped me to escape the Crystal Braves in Limsa Lominsa, only to then disappear? Well, according to Riol, she crept aboard a ship bound for Rodzit Han, where she's been hiding ever since. He assures me that it won't be long before we're reunited. As for Ida and Papalimo, the remains of their link pearls have been found, and in Pearl Lane of all places. Riol thinks they must have disposed of them after escaping from the Royal Promenade. Yes, that would make sense. They could not risk being eavesdropped upon by our betrayers. We're all but certain they fled the city shortly after, though we still don't have a clue where they went. I see. And what of Thancred and Menphilia? I'm afraid I have nothing new to share about those two. But it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is, we've enlisted the services of a Sharlayan scholar, one of the students of Valdesian, to aid in the search, who should be arriving any day now. One of the students, you say? Well, I should very much like to meet this scholar, if time permits. But first we must attend to a more pressing matter. Ser Aymeric has summoned the two of us for a private audience. The messenger did not specify what he wished to discuss, only that it was urgent. Assuming you have no objections, Morrighan, I suggest we proceed to the congregation forthwith, and mayhap we can meet with the scholar afterwards. Agreed? In that case, I think I'll return to the Forgotten Knight for now. Things are liable to fall apart if I'm gone too long, you know? The Lord Commander is within. Pray proceed, miss. Is it going to be voice acted or no?
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities. I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop.
Ooh.
But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited.
So we made the mistake.
Mayhap I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has...
Whoops.
I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number question our methods.
Yeah.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the Broom. Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order, but such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
That's the goal, buddy.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Shrine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I think we can
Annex
do that.
Shrine? You would speak with Vidofnir then?
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor?
Absolutely. And we would love to.
Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
Also, any time to travel with Lucia makes me happy. She is one of my favorite characters, and spoilers, you know, for up to
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens. Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph. As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
But spoilers for up to current game. Lucia is one of the few, like, female characters that Square hasn't killed. But they also haven't done a whole lot with her. I know little of the lands these dragons call home, this Annex Shrine. Had you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey would seem a far more daunting prospect. I confess, I myself once shuddered at the thought of it. Yet even the longest journey begins with the first step, does it not? Ah, but ere we set forth, Morrighan and I must needs inform our comrade of our plans. Very well, I shall see to my preparations. Then let us go and bid farewell to Tataru, Morrighan. So, what was your secret meeting all about? I'm all ears. A diplomatic mission to Annex Shrine, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. But should your meeting with Vidofnir happen to end early, you might consider rendezvousing with Y'shtola in Idleshire. She'll be there to receive our guest. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything, but this scholar just happens to be... time permitting, as I said. We shall endeavor to join Y'shtola, but if we cannot, pray pass on our regards. Let us be off, Morrighan. We have kept the first commander waiting long enough. Okay. What does Lucia got for us? You are ready, then? Good. So am I. Oh, shit. We'll take the urchin loaf. The path is long but known to us. From Falcon's Nest we shall cross the western highlands and make for Tailfeather in the Javanian forelands. There we can stop to rest and replenish our supplies. Questions? If not, then the stables await. Rendezvous with Lucia outside of Tailfeather. We're just gonna teleport there. Alphino's not wrong. We could take the Chocobo stables and all of that, but we'll let them do that. We'll just meet them. We'll show up first, so that they're like, what? How'd you already get here? I always imagined that the first time I set foot upon Javania's soil would be at the head of an army, and here I am, ready to treat with the brothers and sisters of mine enemies. Full well do I know how difficult it can be to set aside that past. Though it was I who first proposed recruiting Y'zel to our cause, I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I had uttered them, and for a long time after that. Here was a woman with the blood of innocence on her hands, men, women, children, all slain in the name of the implacable Lady Iceheart. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds and agreed to join us in common cause. At our side she fought in service to that greater good, even unto her dying breath. And while that does not absolve her of her sins, I hope that one day she will be remembered not merely as a heretic, but as a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. You ask much, Master Alphino. Yet who can say what might come to pass, should our negotiations bear fruit? Yes, of course. We must press on to Annex Trine, if you will follow me. And now we'll teleport to Annex Trine. She is above us. So let us fly. Now, there's the hole. There's the hole. Through. Yep. I said what I said. Thou art ever welcomed here, friend of Y'zel. But this one I do not know. Pray forgive us this unannounced visit, Vidofna. May I present to you Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard and our trusted friend. It is an honor to meet you, Vidofna. I come as an envoy of Sir Aymeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights and acting leader of the Holy See. Indeed, you may speak, knight. For 1,000 years, man and dragon have been locked in an endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be the architects of this war. But now we know the truth, that King Thordan and his Knights 12 did willfully betray and murder the great worm Ratatskir, shattering the peace between our peoples. For 1,000 years, our leaders conspired to conceal this truth, a truth which was at last laid bare by the Warrior of Light, the Azure Dragoon, and Y'zel. Alas, a deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Y'zel once did, and we must make that dream a reality as she could not. We humbly beseech you, Vidofna, join hands with us in a friendship once more, before the eyes of my people in Ishgard. A most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, knight. However, I cannot give you mine answer. May I ask why? This matter concerneth my sire. He must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nath grow bold, even as they did before, and I would not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm. Then we will wait. After 1,000 years at war, we shall not give up on peace for want of patience. Ha! Fear not, knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime. So soon? My humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith, until we meet again. Dum-dum. Where is Alfie? Given the circumstances, I would say that went rather well. To be frank, I am surprised our proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught will come of it remains to be seen, however. Mayhap I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. Ah, but you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. Well, if you have no further need of our services, we shall continue on to Charlian. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in the search for our missing comrades. Then I pray your journey is as swift and uneventful as ours was. And thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. I can think of no graver matter than a 1,000-year war, one which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice it to say, I would willingly make 1,000 such journeys to ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. Of that I have no doubt, Master Alphino. I only hope the fates will not hold you to your word. So, it would seem we have time to greet this scholar after all. How delightful! I shall be interested to hear how she means to go about finding Minfilia and Thancred. I can only assume she is privy to some new investigation technique. In any event, our first order of business is to rendezvous with Y'shtola in Idleshire. To Idleshire. All Alexander stuff. Ah, Morrighan. 'Tis good to see you. I confess, I had assumed your business in Annex Shrine would detain you longer. Did your meeting with Vidofna go well? As well as can be expected. She must discuss Ceramic's proposal with Herace Veilgar. Of course, but she seemed amenable to the suggestion. What of our Charlian guest? Has she arrived yet? She has. But when I explained that you would be joining us, she asked if she might use the intervening time to explore. I agreed to meet her outside on Frontbridge. We should be on our way. Indeed. I do enjoy this scene and some of the scenes coming up. Because they... You'll see. You'll see. I think it has voice acting, so...
I'm terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kryle, who has recently come from the Charlian motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, miss. And who is that I spy but young Alphino Levieux himself? I dare say someone's grown in Ilmore too in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
Well,
We, Miss Kryl and I met at the Studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the Studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryl.
see? This is why it's so good.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking.
I know, Y'shtola. I want to know too.
Right, on to more pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Chill, bro.
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best that you explain your plan to her in person.
That is the plan, Y'shtola. That is the plan. And we can fly. So I've mentioned it a few times on stream, and I'm gonna mention it now. I've started lifting again, like working out and exercising and trying to be healthier, all that fun stuff. I'm so sore. That's probably about 25% of what I complain about now is just how freaking sore I am. Also, like, unrelated to that, I love Kryl. So much. She's great. I love how she messes with Alphino and his sister all the time. You did say we were headed for a cave, did you not? Because I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Matoya meeting us on the way or something? Nah, Kryl, it's through the wall. I have heard many stories of Master Matoya, some quite flattering, others less so. Rest assured, they are all true. This way, and have care where you tread. Do, 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 do.
Oh, is that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Kryl, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our Order's headquarters and the Isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Kryl, you too possess the Echo.
I don't know why you're so shocked.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our Order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the science of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
There's no way she just lets us use it, right?
Long did I ponder
I
the
don't actually
nature of this
remember.
crystal and its familiar radiance. But never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light. But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola. Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya.
Woo! We're sitting
Then
now.
let us begin.
I thought that was over. Whoops. Is this the scene? Or is it once we actually find Thancred?
From the Black Shroud, The trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock. I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
Back to Tailfeather. I kind of want Matoya's hat. Giant ass brim. To Tailfeather. Were I to find myself in an unfamiliar wilderness, my first instinct would be to seek out signs of civilization. Ordinarily, perhaps, but in his wounded state, he may not have wished to risk contact with strangers of unknown allegiance. Yet even had Thancred chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled across his trail. Tailfeather doesn't strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case we'll need to provide a more detailed description when we question the locals. Fear not, Kryl. I have already prepared several sketches of Thancred for that very purpose. This is impressive. You drew him from memory. A skill I acquired some years ago for reasons I no longer remember. I propose we split into two pairs. Y'shtola and I will inquire at the outlying encampments, while Morrighan and Kryl question the residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Lothast Vath and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let us be about it. My, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine he was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. Anyway, we had best get started. Find me when you've finished making your rounds. Alright, we gotta speak to 3 people. We'll just go to this one first, because it's the closest. Searching for a friend of yours. Let's have a look then. No, I ain't seen him around. Sorry. We'll go to... No, don't return to Foundation. You stop it. Stop it. We'll get on the Fenrir. Marchamp. What's that you got there? A sketch? Can't say I know the face. You say he's something of a warrior? I heard a tale the other day about a Huron vagabond who brought down a bandersnatch by himself, and with style. The way they tell it, he was dancing with the beast like it was the bell of a bleeding ball. Sound like your man? Actually, yeah, that does sound pretty damn close to him. So he's got to be in the area, then. Grimald, how you doing? A Huron, man. We're not exactly rare, you know. Could you be more specific? Yes. I did spy this one bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look at his face, but I could have been him. This was beyond the forest, as I recall, along the river to the west of Tailfeather. I remember thinking he wasn't much of a hunter. The lad was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That, and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. They could be talking about, the Warrior of Darkness, actually. Finished? In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. Let's see what the others have found. Oh, stop it. My apologies for our late arrival. We thought it wise to question as many hunters as we could. Many have made camp in inaccessible locations, ideal for hunting game, not so receiving visitors. Nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally capable Huron hunter with whom no one is familiar. Though none chanced to see the man's face, his height and build match Thancred's description, as does his fighting prowess. So you've heard the same tales. Be that as it may, we yet want for conclusive proof. Mayhap this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a Vath trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments fit for a man of refinement, which seemed a rather curious description for one of his kind. You are implying that Thancred sent a Vath to market in his stead. Why would he not go himself? Well, if you recall, you yourself emerged from the livestream as naked as your name day. It is a scene I shall never forget. Alphino. Buddy. I love how he just straight out says it. Is it now? Well, I was pleased to see you. I mean, it was a simple statement of fact. It stands to reason that Thancred found himself in the same predicament. In any case, if he had dealings with the Vath, they should be able to tell us, no? Quite right, Kryl, quite right. Well, what are we waiting for? For all we know, Thancred could be waiting for us in Lothast Vath. We must go and see the Vath right away. Come along, everyone, come along. Hello, Vath Storyteller. Great hunters, we welcome you once more to Lothast Vath. What do you seek this day? We seek a man with whom we are told you may have had certain dealings. How curious! The hunters tire of godly sport and pursue mortal prey. No, he is not prey, but a friend long missing. Good. He is a friend to the Vath as well, one with whom we have traded many times. Truly, and you are quite certain it was this man? There is no doubt. The fleshling clothed in his skins came to us from Samal, lost and weak. He offered meat and hides in trade, and in exchange we tended his wounds. He brought us much flesh, so skilled a hunter he was. Much flesh. When he asked for garments, we were glad to provide them. And where is he now? Gone to Lothast Noth, not long ago, when he heard the One Mind had summoned our god once more. Ravana is returned? Vidofnir did say that the Noth had grown as before, but what could Thancred hope to accomplish by himself? Honored Elder, we thank you for your help. Would that we could repay this kindness ere we depart, but we must hasten to our comrade's side. Go, great hunters, lest the Nath claim him as a sacrifice. Why'd you have to get involved, Nath Fire Drone? But the level 52 one, not the level 60.
else could be? Thancred! It could be Thancred! We must hurry!
There he is. Ardbert and his troop of people. This is a good scene, though, when you first meet Ardbert's party. Oh, we both have the echo, and it's like the same type of echo. I had never caught
this
the Heat had the
day,
headache
we
too.
reclaim the reins of history. This day, we rid ourselves of the Ascians forever.
Fools playing at heroes, all of you. Is this how you believe you can save your world?
We can and we will, Ascian. You shall see. Or perhaps you will not.
That's not a warrior limit break.
So you are the warrior of light, the savior of Eorzea.
All of them had it.
It's a wonder you didn't come sooner, what with the primal and all. Lost a step, have we?
Have care. The ether moves strangely around him.
It would seem we share a common enemy. Mayhap you would tell us who you are.
Shall we show them?
That is not a white mage ability. Oh, it really kind of ruins moments, doesn't it? There he is. There's the Thancred. Meanwhile, Ardbert's just having the time of his life right now. And Lamet is basically like, bruh, stop. Oh, fine.
Not very sporting of you to interrupt. But so be it. Mark well our faces, warrior of light. For we are the warriors of darkness. Walkers of a different path. And we shall meet again.
Warriors of Darkness. Really?
I love how she's just like, bruh, come on. You could have came up with a better name than that.
Thancred! Are you all right?
Pleasantries can wait. I'd rather not be here when the Nath arrive. Agreed?
Agreed. Sorry, I'm playing the game one-handed at the moment. Because I was texting my wife back.
Suffice it to say, our reunion was not at all as I pictured it. Waiting until the last instant to join the fray. 'Tis plain you have not lost your appetite for the dramatic.
My appetite for the dramatic? Have you forgotten the circumstances of our parting? The heroic last stand, the tunnel filling with light, and then... Had I known you intended to use forbidden magics to deliver me to some god's forsaken wilderness, I would have thanked you in advance.
Of course you would have.
Thancred.
If nothing else, you might have warned me that I would
This is
emerge from the live
insane.
stream in the altogether.
Everything is just artfully covered by squirrels.
Eventually, I managed to fashion knives from some obsidian I found, and set about hunting for meat and hides. Given that I'm not all that skilled in leatherworking, it's probably for the best that I met the Vath before I was reunited with you.
Fair enough.
So you were the fleshling clothed in skins of whom the storyteller spoke.
That's who we thought it was, Alphino.
A description which fit me as ill as the skins themselves. Happily, I was able to trade with the Vath for garments better becoming a man of refinement. From them, I learned of Ravana, and of the great warrior who had once laid him low.
That would be me, yeah.
And thence did you conclude that were you to track the Primal's movements, it would surely bring you into contact with the Scions once more?
It seemed a reasonable assumption. I could think of no one else with your enthusiasm for slaying beastmen gods. Until now, that is.
Ah, yes. The self-proclaimed Warriors of Darkness. 'Tis only fitting that they stand in opposition to the Warrior of Light, I suppose.
I glimpsed the leaders past, if only for a moment. They were confronting a man in black. An Ascian, I think.
Yup. I saw it too, Kryl.
If these warriors are capable of doing battle with Ascians and Primals both, they must be possessed of powerful protection. Protection not unlike the Echo.
Nope. Blessed with the power of the Echo, and driven to put down Primals, despite his declarations that they walk a different path, I struggle to see how their goals conflict with ours. Nor is that the only oddity. I find it passing strange that such exceptional individuals should have wholly escaped our notice until now. Surely we would have heard rumors and attempted to recruit them to our cause. I recall no such adventurers, and I would not soon forget their like, nor would any of us, I think. One of the primary duties was to scour the city-states for promising candidates, which is how I found Morrighan. Ah, the memories. It seems like only yesterday that you slew your first primal. Speaking of which, I had the distinct impression that it was not the first time that band of merry men and women had killed a god. I labor to believe that a band of preternaturally gifted adventurers have been traveling the land, slaying primals without our knowledge. 'Twould imply gross negligence on our part. Speculation will avail us naught. There is far too much we do not know. For the present, we must needs concentrate on what we do know, namely that Lord Ravana is no more. Vidofna must be informed. The news may render her more receptive to Ser Amric's invitation. Since you seem to have affairs here well in hand, I shall take my leave. Simply being in the vicinity of this colony has given me a stinking headache. If you have need of me, I shall be with Master Matoya. I would beg her assistance with the search for Menphilia. Wait, Menphilia is missing? I thought she had escaped with Morrighan. I shall explain on the road. Much has happened in your absence. Oh, it takes us... okay. I mean, I will gladly accept any form of less teleporting or walking that I have to do. I just didn't realize it was going to drop us right at the steps of Annex Shrine. I had not thought to see thee again so soon, mortal. If thou seekest the night, know that she hath long since departed for Ishgard. My thanks, Vidofna, but it was not for her that we came. We bring good tidings for you and yours. Lord Ravana, who had been summoned by the Noth, has again been laid low. Truly, once more you mortals have succeeded where mine own kind did fail. You have our deepest thanks. Would that we could take credit. The god fell by another's hand. Another? Revelation upon revelation. Regardless, it is cause for celebration. The Nath will have no choice but to withdraw. But to another matter, I have tidings for thee as well. Regarding the Ishgardian's invitation, as promised, I brought the matter to my sire. Hearken to his answer now. For 1,000 years I have mourned my beloved, who gave her life to forge a peace thy king betrayed. Such was my lot, until a child of Ishgard came unto me. For want of warmth she wrapped herself in a dream, yet the world will remember her deeds. For truth she fought, for justice she sinned, for redemption she sacrificed, and became as light. To follow one's heart, to have faith in one's convictions, be it for weal or be it for woe. Such is the folly and the glory of man, and of Dragon. He hath entrusted the choice to us, and we have made it. We will keep faith with you who walk in the light. Then you accept Ser Amric's invitation? Let it be known that I, Vidofnir, shall journey unto Ishgard on behalf of my people. We are honored to receive your answer, and I will convey your words to our allies without delay. It is happening, Izael. Would that you were here to see it.
Even as the Scions celebrated the return of a long-lost friend, honorable men plotted to deprive them of another.
I didn't realize he was with Lord Four Toms and Amonelane.
Honorable men, to whom Sir Emeric was no hero, but a scheming patricide. Honorable men who would fain wash the paving stones of foundation with the tyrant's blood. Honorable men whose knife in the dark was the spark which set the city aflame, and who sang as it burned.
I also didn't realize the Monolane took the guy down, basically. Return to Foundation, so that we can speak with Alfino. Right, let us not keep Sir Aymeric waiting. Are you quite well, Thancred?
I'm not sure I understand.
Shut up, Siri. Yes, quite well. Forgive me. You have given me a lot to digest. This whole affair with the Ishgardians and the Dravanians, and our friends nowhere to be found. 'Twould seem there is no end to our troubles. We can but face them head-on, one at a time. For now we must apply ourselves to our allotted tasks and leave the others to theirs. Remember, Thancred, we found you as they found me. In time we will find Ida and Papalima, and Minfilia as well. These troubles will soon be but a memory, one which we will look back on together. Pray do not misunderstand. I did not mean to imply that it would be otherwise. I merely wish that I had rejoined our grand adventure at one of its more triumphal moments. Despite your recent accomplishments, the mood here is less than celebratory. But I have no doubt that we will enjoy many more glorious victories soon enough, and you may rest assured that I will play my part in them to the very hilt. Well, I know you will. So then, to the congregation. Because Sir Aymeric's been stabbed. You have returned. In this at least the fates are kind. Greetings, First Commander. It pleases me to inform you that Vidofna has accepted Sir Aymric's invitation. She has? These are glad tidings indeed. Would that the Lord Commander were here to hear them. Ah, is he otherwise engaged? Aye, sleeping off a knife to the gut. What? What happened? Will he live? The Chirurgeons tell me he will make a full recovery, but had Lord Edmund and Lord not Emmanuelian, sorry, and Lord Artorial had not been on hand when the assassins struck, he would not have been so fortunate. For a mercy, they subdued the fiend before he could land the telling blow. The attack was just the beginning, though. Not long after, buildings all around the city, including several of ours, burst into flame. Bastards caught us completely by surprise. We've been dousing the fires, but for every one we put out, it seems like 2 more start up. Casualties are mounting, especially in the Broom. 'Tis plain these fires were started by the assassin's conspirators. Until they have been rounded up, there will be no end to this. Will you help us find them? Then let us be about it. The flames are spreading. We must needs begin our investigation immediately. Witnesses must be found. Suspects must be identified. Have you been able to determine the precise location where the fires were set? Mayhap there is a pattern. If there is, we have yet to discern it. Fires have been reported throughout the city in both the pillars and foundation. Wait, did I skip something? Whoops. Indeed, given the size of the area affected, I think it would be best to divide our forces. Master Alfino and Mistress Y'shtola, I would have you take the charge of the investigation in Foundation. As you wish. Mayhap Tataru can be of assistance as well. Meaning Morrighan and me will get the pillars. Oh, they'll like me up there. Only question is, will the grizzled old rogue striking a pose over there be joining us? Thancred, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, And may I say what a pleasure it is to meet you too, my lady. I'll bet. The name's Hilda. A scion, eh? And here I was thinking I'd found a fellow ruffian amongst all of these illustrious personages. I will remain here to coordinate the fire-quenching effort. If you learn aught of value, pray inform me immediately. That is all. While we could begin by sifting through charred rubble and questioning random passerbys, in my experience, every town has at least one individual who can be counted on to know things he or she should not. Oh, aye, the infamous Lord Manelian de Fortomps, lover of women and wine, though neither care for him that much. They say he could gossip for Ishgard. Just the sort of fellow I had in mind. Capital suggestion, Morrighan. He'll be at the Crozier most like, making an effort to be seen, so let's go and see him. Oh, grizzled I will accept, but old? He is only like 32. Possibly even only like 30 at the time of this. Well, well, if it isn't Morrighan, dearest of all my friends. You're looking rather glum. Something the matter, old girl? Ah, yes, the arsons. Dreadful business. That and off the curious, wouldn't you say? There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it at all. Naturally, we've doubled the guard outside the manor, along with the most of the other houses. Can't have the old pile going up in flames, after all. Oh, in case you were wondering why the Hoplon is awash with refugees, the lower levels of the vault have been opened to those unfortunate souls who have lost their homes. Sir Americ's orders, from what I hear. Remarkable man. Not even a knife in the ribs can keep him from his duties. Actually, old girl, if you were thinking of questioning the refugees, I should be more than happy to accompany you to the Hoplon. While you conduct your inquiries, I could offer words of comfort to the distressed and despondent young maidens. Wait a moment, I know what that is. You're giving me one of your looks, aren't you? You do me an injustice, old girl, I will have you know. My heart yearns for but one rose, prickly though she may be. I sense you remain unconvinced. Very well, if it will help to prove the purity of my intentions, I shall gracefully rescind my offer. Now run along and catch those arsonists. That was not entirely what I had hoped for. Whose idea was it to come here again? Never mind. For our next step, I suggest we divide our efforts. While you question the refugees in the Hoplon, Morrighan, I shall investigate the locations where the fires were set. Would you be so good as to join me, Hilda? You know what? I reckon I would. Can't have you roaming about in an unfamiliar city by your lonesome, can we? You'd only get robbed blind and left shivering in your small clothes. Come, my brothers and sisters. There is food and shelter enough for all in the Basilica. Halone's blessings be upon ye, father. I confess we were not sure if we should come. There are so many unbelievable tales these days about the Archbishop and Sir Aymeric and the Javonians. Trust in your heart, brother, and pray, and pay no heed to the lies of lesser men. They seek only to lead you astray. Do you require succor as well, miss? So the Temple Knights have begun their investigation at last. Good. This madness has gone on far too long. Would that I could do something to aid you in your search, but I have a duty to these poor souls. Farewell, and may the Fury guide your steps. I also apparently ran right past this guy. Wasn't paying attention. Ours was one of the first homes to be claimed, but I didn't see how the fire started. It was only when I began hearing our neighbors shouting that I looked outside and saw the flames. We barely escaped with the clothes on our backs. Were it not for the church's generosity, I don't know what we'd do. There was a man with a satchel. I saw him kneeling outside the window. And then there was smoke everywhere, and it was so hot and I couldn't breathe. I don't remember how I made it out. I suppose I must have climbed. Maybe my arm is getting better after all. We're rendezvousing with Thancred. Ah, there you are. Anything to share? Well, we require more than the muddled testimony of a traumatized girl if we are to identify the culprits. While you were questioning the refugees, we inspected the scenes of several of the fires, including one near St. Raimonald's Cathedral and another near the Tribunal. For a mercy, neither structure suffered significant damage. Some might say they were spared by the grace of the Fury. Others might question how such ruthlessly efficient arsonists contrived to fail so miserably on the 2 occasions when their target was a bastion of Ishgardian orthodoxy. Nothing conclusive, of course, but it does give one cause to wonder. Alphino will doubtless have an opinion. Rendezvous with Alphino in the Broom. They did way better than we did. They actually captured someone. Silence will avail you not, sir. Ah, Morrighan. I was just about to summon you. As you can see, we have detained a suspect. We found this man loitering near the remains of one of the stricken buildings. According to eyewitnesses, he was also present before the fires broke out. We wished to have words. He did not, so we insisted. Let me go, damn it! You've got the wrong man! My, but you reek of oil. And are those burns on your hands? An occupational hazard, I suppose, but tell me, does arson pay well? I'm a victim, you imbecile, look at me! Aye, that you are, after a fashion. You should know that your pious patron has already spun us a delightful yarn about how his pet mongrels slipped this leash and sat about burning half the city to the ground. Not very noble of him, I grant you, but then those highborn types rarely do show loyalty to their pets. In fact, he called you rabid and begged us to put you down. That's bollocks! He's the one that told me to keep going. Even a sinner such as me could find salvation in the Fury's work, he said. I'd left it behind. Tried to, with all my heart, said my prayers every day like a good man. But he came to me. He came to me! And there you have it, Hilda. Would you be so kind as to escort our friend here to the congregation? Aye, so long as you don't mind if he's limping when he gets there. That was incredible, Thancred, but how did you know he would confess? Well, I have seen his like before. A troubled soul manipulated by men of power and wielded as a weapon. I could not be certain, of course, but given the stakes, I thought it worth the risk. And if our captive had called your bluff... Must we entertain hypotheticals? The world as it is vexing enough. Thank you, Thancred. Whether by luck or judgment, we have at last confirmed that these arsons were orchestrated by a person or persons of influence. I think it best now that we return to the congregation and discuss how best to proceed. Ba-ba-ba-da. Do-do-do. On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, I thank you all. The man you apprehended is being interrogated as we speak. Though he fell silent upon realizing that we had not turned his master, he will soon tell us what he knows, one way or the other. Pardon the intrusion, First Commander. Ah, Lord Artorial. Are you come to see your father? He is attending Ser Aymeric in his chambers at present. I am. He bid me bring this salve. Then do not let me detain you, and thank you for your kindness, my lord. In times of trouble, every man must do his part. Would that I could do more. My lord. Wait. My lord Arturiel did not seem to be in the best of spirits. 'Tis little wonder, Master Alfino. His father is widely slandered, and his half-brother not yet cold in the grave. Ba-da-da-da. 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 Da-da-da-da.
I do not mean to diminish our accomplishments, but until we identify the ones who ordered the fires set, our work is far from finished.
Between the various conservative and religious factions in Ishgard, I dare say there's no shortage of parties who would like to see the status quo preserved. Do any likely suspects spring to mind?
Far too many to count.
Lord Commander, your wounds.
Are healing well. Thank you. Time is of the essence. Lest we forget, these men would sooner put their own city to the torch than see it change. When our enemies learn that we have apprehended their arsonist, there is no telling how they will react.
Lord Commander, an armed mob has seized control of the vault.
And now we know. Tell us what happened, sir. Spare no detail.
We were directing refugees into the Basilica, as you ordered, when all of a sudden, men brandishing weapons were all around us. It happened so fast, my lord. We had no time to respond. They've taken the refugees hostage and barricaded themselves inside the vault.
And they sent you to deliver their demands.
They, the true brothers of the faith, demand that a conclave to select the next archbishop be held forthwith. Furthermore, they declare that you, Lord Commander, are guilty of patricide and high treason, and that you must surrender yourself at once to receive of the Fury's judgment.
It was the bastard priest. The first one we talked to.
Ridiculous! I mean, do they honestly think that executing Sir Emmerich would change anything? That the truth will somehow die with him?
These fundamentalists rage against the passing of the old ways, unable to accept there can be no going back.
Given the fanciful nature of their demands, a peaceful resolution does not seem likely. If the hostages are to be rescued, it will be by force, I fear.
Agreed. Lucia, take a contingent of knights and establish a perimeter outside the entrance.
At once, Lord Commander.
Hilda, I need your people out in force throughout the Broom. When word spreads of the situation, the friends and family of the hostages may try to take matters into their own hands. I will not give these militants more targets. I shall lead the assault on the vault. Master Alphino, can I count on the support of the Scions?
Of course.
We are in your debt.
Perfect.
I shall join you as well, Lord Commander.
Your assistance is most welcome, Lord Arturiel. To arms then, friends. Time is against us.
Arturiel. I'm never gonna remember that. I'm gonna feel like shit about it. I do hate how I can't pronounce most of the names in this area because of my, like, fundamental lack of understanding of how, like, the French language... God, I hope it is based off of, like, French. If it's off of another language or dialect or whatever, like, I apologize for my ignorance. 100%. But yeah, like, the pronunciations, just, they're out of my grasp. And the game doesn't use voice acting enough during this expansion to, like, get it, like, really drilled through your head. Listen well. We will enter the Basilica silently via this gate. According to our latest reports, there were at least 6 hostages being held within. The numbers and readiness of the true brothers of the faith are unknown. I am told one claimed to have served under Thordan the Seventh. Might the same be true of the rest? Given the swiftness with which they seized control of the vault, I think it highly likely, yes. Which means that they may well possess the knowledge required to turn the building's defenses against us. Be that as it may, we have no choice but to press on. Lord Arturel, you are a brave man and true, and none would dare question your honor if you chose not to risk your life in this endeavor. Are you certain you wish to join us? I am no stranger to the battlefield, Sir Aymeric. My arm will not falter. My shield will not break. Halonay is my witness. We will bring these fanatics to justice. Well said, my lord. Friends, follow me. 'Twould seem our presence goes yet unnoticed. Come, we must secure the entrance. Remember, saving the hostages takes precedence over all else. Mind your attacks and subdue. Let's not forget, like... Bless you. You must hurry. The others were taken elsewhere by Sir Simoniard. Sir Simoniard. So this is indeed the work of the Archbishop's former servants. On your guard. They've sounded the alarm. I will hold the entrance and look after this one. Now go! Secure the hostage, Morrighan. Leave the others to us.
Down with you!
Aggressive. To like interact and no, Aymric's doing it. Okay. I wonder if they changed that. Because used to, I think we had to interact with it. They took the others somewhere. It all happened so quickly. There they are. Let none escape. Keep going. I will hold them here. Not alone, you won't. Morrighan, stay with Sir Aymeric and Lord Artoriel. This way, Morrighan. To the choir. Is this not the right way? Did I go the wrong way?
You underestimate me!
Apparently I did. Come on. His name is Aymeric the Blue. now. Sir Simonard, Sir Simonard, lay down your arms and release the hostages, and you will be shown mercy. I give you my word. Ha! The word of a heretic and a kinslayer. I would sooner trust a dragon. Activate the knights. We shall show the hostages the same mercy he showed the Archbishop. Unlike you, Sir Aymeric, I am a man of honor. By my hand you shall receive of the Fury's judgment. So it is to be a trial, then. Lord Artwarel, Morrighan, leave us and save the hostages. I will deal with Sir Simonard. Okay, back. This is the part that I remember. Where you have to, like, actually stop. Where you have to actually interact to rescue the hostages. There must be others nearby, but where? Traitor! Kinslayer! What sorcery do you yet stand? Enough! All of you, attack! No, please! Get over here, you. This will be the third bond. I see no others nearby. Come, Morrighan. Sir Aymeric needs our help.
This knight does not yield!
Come on. I was gonna say, please tell me it hits all three of them. Boom. One day, I swear you will. One day ain't gonna be enough. Never gonna happen. Here's our last refugee. Or our last hostage. He took Melee. You must hurry. The priest took Melee upstairs when he saw you kill his men. Have no fear, child. We will save your friend.
Where is he? Where is he? Come no closer! You have nowhere to run. Release the girl and surrender.
Surrender to whom? The blasphemer who throws wide the gates to our enemy? Who breaks bread with him and calls him brother? Ungodly swine! I would sooner die than surrender to you.
Is it godly to spill the blood of an innocent child? To burn the homes of your brothers? Tell me, priest, is that godly?
Do not speak to me of godliness, heathen! Your father's blood is on your hands, as is hers!
This part's so fucked up. But a dragon saves the day.
What? But I...
Vidafne!
Well met, knight. Mayhap I chose an inopportune moment?
Not at all. Pray forgive us this most unworthy reception. We are honored to have you with us, and right glad of your aid.
Fortune delivered the child unto me. I had but to receive her.
Thank you for saving me.
Thou art welcome, child.
Never did I think to be indebted to so unexpected a savior. But full glad am I to be so.
Friend of Izel, warrior of warriors, I had hoped to meet with thee.
Why would you want to meet with me?
I bear a message from my sire.
From Gracefelder.
Upon returning to our lands, Nidhogg's shade did sing unto his brood, and they for skies unknown did then take wing. This thou must know, for your fates are inextricably bound.
What of Estinian? Is he truly lost to us?
Such matters are beyond my ken. I but bear my father's words. Take from them what thou wilt. Fare you well, mortals.
So it is as they say then. A great white dragon swooped down from the heavens to rescue an innocent child.
A most unexpected turn of events, but not an unwelcome one. The people will not soon forget this day.
Yet how will they choose to remember it, Sir Emmerich? And will these events serve to bring man and dragon closer together, or drive a deeper wedge between brothers? After 1,000 years, the world these men once knew is changing, and with ungentle swiftness to boot. Though their actions are misguided, their sentiments are only to be expected. You may be sure that others will rally to their cause. I share your desire for a lasting peace with the Dravanians, I do. But I would not see it built on the bones of our countrymen, nor on our own. I see much of Horsefar in you, and I could not bear to mourn the passing of another son.
Lord Edmund.
Such a good scene. This has been a day of surprises, has it not? 'Tis but a pity Vidofna could not stay longer. Yes, I think it's fair to say that she timed her departure rather less well than her arrival. Well timed scarcely does it justice, but 1 moment later would have been a moment too late. Let us pray that the Ishgardians who yet harbored doubts will take these events to heart and accept the truth of Sir Amleth's words. Well, 'tis only meet that I inform Tataru of what has occurred here. If you have need of me, I shall be at Fortom's Manor. Allow me to accompany you. Tataru would never forgive me if I left for the Rising Stones without saving goodbye. A moment, Morrighan. I wish a word. Tell me, does Thancred seem quite well to you? He helps Laval, he gets on well enough with Hilda. I'm not sure how to put it into words, but... So you sense it too. A subtle change, imperceptible to most. I myself did not notice it at first, but upon closer examination, I saw that his etheric flow has been irreparably disrupted. As a result, I strongly suspect that his ability to manipulate ether has been compromised. Simply put, Thancred may no longer be able to wield magics. It would do much to explain why he chose to remain within the wilderness instead of seeking us out. He would have been compelled to rely solely on traditional methods of travel, significantly prolonging his journey, and when he learned that a nearby beast tribe was making preparations to summon a primal, it may well have seemed more sensible to wait. But this is still little more than speculation. Until I have proof, pray speak no word of it. Right then, I should be on my way. Kryl may have charmed Master Matoya for now, but who can say for how long it will last? Alright, now we go speak with Alfino at Fortom's Manor, where we will be ending stream afterward. It's not even a stream, where we will be ending video afterwards. It was tempting to end it early, but like it was just a couple more things we had left to do. I got guests over that I need to go talk to. Good. Like, that sounds ungrateful. It's not.
That Vidofnia should chance to arrive even as the girl fell. Truly, I could not have planned it better myself.
Ah, good. We were afraid you might have left.
A shield, my lord?
Fit for a true knight. An expression of our gratitude to you and yours. Long overdue. But there is something else I would discuss ere you part. Something which cannot leave this room. My father will soon step down as head of our house. Sir Emmerich was not the only one to fall under suspicion following the death of the Archbishop. There are some who believe my father complicit in a coup d'etat. Thus he intends to renounce his title to absolve our house of suspicion and secure the support of our peers.
Surely there must be another way to convince houses Durandare and Zemail.
So I said to him. Alas, he will not budge. Ever since I was a child, I knew that I would one day succeed my father. The thought of it filled me with pride. Yet once I learned the day was at hand, my heart was filled with naught but dread. Our legacy is built upon the lies of our forefathers. In accepting this title, am I not perpetuating this injustice? Why should I become the next count? You sound just like him. Aye. I suspect that is what Horchefon would have said. To aid those in need. When you look on that shield, I trust you will remember his words. And should I once more find my resolve wavering, I ask that you show me the way. You are a sister to Horchefon. Will you be a sister to me as well? Come, Manalaine. There's much to be done. For Father, and for Sir Emmerich, and for Ishgard.
I do like that I've been able to say Amanalaine's name correctly. Arthurel.
To think we share the same blood. Pray excuse us.
Those were the days of promises and vows, of tentative first steps into an uncertain future. A future shaped by the choices we made, in ways we could never have foreseen. Born of good and evil, of light and darkness, and shepherded by our hand. Be it for weal, or be it for woe.
From the memoirs of Count Edmond de Fortemps, Heavensward, as goes light, so goes darkness. Which I believe will resolve that quest for us. Yes. We'll take the silver pieces. Alright. With that, we'll switch screens. Maybe. Nope. This is thy proof. The Garen Oracles, Apocrypha. It is a truth long forgotten, a tale of the beginning and of a path we have been set upon. Our fates were ordained long ago, Archon. The Garleans are no exception, nor the Triad. You know what must be done. No one is there. Dun dun dun. Oh, and then here's our first look at Ida and Papa Limo. Well, everyone has their orders. The masks will attack as soon as all units are in position. The Imperials won't know what hit them. I fear it will be bloody. By Rhalgr, it had better be. We cannot stay here forever, Ida. We have other responsibilities. I know full well what my responsibilities are, and I mean to fulfill them, every one. Boom. Okay. Well, with that, thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Doing this every time. Caleb Games here on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. Give me follows, all that stuff. Share this video if you enjoy it, you know, all that good stuff. But we will be back with another video shortly, hopefully within the next few days, and streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from about 11:30 to 3:30ish. Have a good one. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. And I will talk to you all later.